So today what we're going to do is go over basically how to clean a small engine carburetor. So what you'll need is your carburetor, which I have here. It's off a 120,000 series Briggs and Stratton engine. It's a pretty common lawnmower engine. You'll need your 1/2 inch wrench or 1/2 inch ratchet and socket, and a nice set of welding tip cleaners. And you will also need carb spray. I currently am out and I'm inside, so I can't really spray in here. So your first step is you'll flip the carburetor upside down after you take it off. And this little nut right here, that is your main jet. And you will use your wrench to take that off. There's a little rubber gasket that goes on there. Try not to lose that. And you'll set it aside. What I do with all my parts is I set them and I line them all up so I know where they're at, and I kind of try to keep it in an order so I can just go back and put each part in the reverse order. So after you've taken that jet out, you can take your bowl off. And I look inside it. Sometimes there's a lot of crud. This one has a little bit you can kind of see in here, but it's not terrible. If it is really bad, I've seen them pure black. You just scrub that out with parts cleaner. So next step is you have your float and your needle here. There is, let me get a good angle, this little pin here. All you'll do is pull that out. Sometimes you'll need pliers, they're tight. This one's pretty loose, it's been cleaned a lot. And then you can just lift your plastic float off. And be very careful, because underneath of here, it just fell out, is the needle. So this rides up and down on the float and will close in the seat to stop fuel from going into the bowl. It sits on this little groove here. And when you flip them upside down, they fall out. So be careful not to lose that. They're kind of hard to come by and find if you drop them. So then, your carburetor is pretty much all taken apart. Sometimes you might have a removable emulsion tube. That can be taken out with just a slotted screwdriver. This carburetor doesn't have one. So your next step will be to get out your tip cleaners here and pick one that's the right size, usually a pretty small one, to clean out all the holes of the carburetor. So then you just go ahead and you start scrubbing, just in and out of every hole you can find, just to make sure there is no built up crud or anything left in the holes. Make sure to get your main jet as well. So your last step, which is one I can't really show you, I'm currently out of carb cleaner and don't really have a lot of garage space right now, so I can't go out into the garage, so I'm doing this at my desk in my room, is you'll take your carb spray and go and take, your little red straw that comes with it and spray out every single hole you can find. The emulsion tube, the seat. Be careful not to lose, there's usually a little rubber O-ring in there. Both your air bleeds and your bowl vent and the main jet as well. Be careful though with these rubber parts. Try not to get carb spray on them. That will cause the rubber to kind of swell up and they won't seal as well. So then once you've done that, you can go through the holes again with the tip cleaner and we'll start reassembling. So first thing to do is take your float and your needle. Set your needle, fits in that little groove there. and then as you turn it over, you just let it dangle. Don't let it fall out. And it goes right, your needle goes in that hole right there. So once that's in the hole, you take your pin, put that back in its slot through the carburetor body, the little mounting points, and through the float. So now your float's good. It can go up and down. It won't come off. And then, so you take your bowl, put that back on. You do want to check around this edge because that gasket can swell up or move, and then your bowl won't seal and you can get a fuel leak from that. So this one's pretty good, so I just always make sure that gasket's not twisted or pinched or anything. And then reinsert your main jet with your rubber washer. And tighten that back down, and you should be all done.